In the beginning, there was only shadow, not darkness, not emptiness, but the quiet hum of possibility. A whisper in the mist, a spark waiting to catch fire. That's where every legend begins. And that's where I found her. I didn't meet her in a castle, or a tavern, or a battlefield. I met her in the space between dreams, in the quiet glade where lanterns float like fallen stars, and ancient trees remember names no one speaks anymore. She stood alone, hooded, cloaked, face turned away from me. Her hands rested at her sides, steady, calm. Behind her, the forest breathed. Mist curled around her boots, golden light danced on her cloak, and above, not a blood-red moon, not a burning sky, but twilight. Soft, deep, endless. She didn't speak. She didn't need to, because I already knew her story. It wasn't written in ink. It wasn't carved into stone. It lived in the curve of her shoulders, the way her fingers brushed the fabric of her robe, the stillness in her stance, the kind of quiet that holds thunder. She was your character, the one you sketched on napkins during lunch breaks, the one you described in midnight journal entries, the one who lives in your D&D campaign, standing beside you when the dice roll low, the one whose laugh echoes in your novel, even though they haven't spoken yet. She was never just pixels or paint or prose. She was soul. And I am the hand that gives her form. I don't draw characters, that I give them breath. I take your words, tall, with silver hair and eyes like storm clouds, wears a tattered cloak stitched with runes, carries a staff that hums with forgotten magic, and I turn them into flesh, into light, into truth. Not just a face, not just a pose, but a moment. The moment she chooses to step forward, not because she has to, but because she wants to. The moment he raises his sword, not to fight, but to protect. The moment they look into the mirror and see not who they were, but who they choose to become. That's what I do. I capture the threshold, the pause before the leap, the silence before the spell, the heartbeat before the kiss, the tear before the roar. I paint the soul behind the eyes. Cinematic, yes, because fantasy is not decoration. It is emotion made visible. It is color bleeding into feeling. It is shadow and gold and crimson and indigo, all swirling together to say, this matters. Emotional detail? Absolutely. Because a character without depth is a costume, a mask, a placeholder. But a character with heart, with history, with scars and secrets and hope, that's a legend. And legends are born in moments like this. Under the glow of floating lanterns, that I in the hush of a twilight forest, with the weight of destiny pressing gently on their shoulders. You send me your description, your vision, your dream, and I return it to you, not as an image, but as a presence, a portrait that doesn't just hang on a wall. It lives. .it stares back at you when you're tired. .it smiles when you win. .it reminds you, quietly, fiercely, that you are not alone. Because art is not passive. .it is communion. When you commission me, you're not buying pixels. That you're inviting me into your world. That you're trusting me with your creation. That you're saying, make them real. And I will. With every brushstroke, every glow, every shadow, I honor that trust. I work slowly, deliberately, with reverence. One character at a time. Head and shoulders, 0.5 to 7 days, 0.1 round of revisions. Because perfection is not about control, but about collaboration. Commercial use? For personal projects, yes. Print it, frame it, use it as your avatar. Share it with your party. Let it live in your campaign. Let it be the face of your novel. But not for resale, not for merch, not for NFTs, because your character is not a product. They are a person, and people deserve dignity. Every piece I create carries a signature, not my name, but yours, your vision, your voice, your story. I am merely the vessel, the hands that shape the clay, the brush that sets the fire, the lens that captures the soul. So if you've ever looked at a blank page and thought, what if? If you've ever stared at a screen and whispered, Who are you? If you've ever held a character in your heart and wondered, can anyone else see them too? Then come here. To this glade.to, this twilight.to, this quiet place where lanterns float and stories breathe. Bring me your OC, your D&D hero, your novel protagonist, your forgotten god, your rebel, your saint, your monster, your savior. Tell me who they are, and I will make them real. Commissions are open. Visit ko-fi.com/mythicvisions. Let's give your character their moment that lets make them legend.